So welcome to the Poetry Den, where words once written on the page are always performed on stage, and solidarity extends between poets and friends. Welcome to the Poetry Den. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here or for being online. My name is Pam Belair. I am the founder and host of the Poetry Den, and um, our home is right now and right here is at the Civil Rights Heritage Center, where we've been probably I think for the last 5 years. George, I think been here 5 years, and we have definitely been um, blessed to have a space to open to the community, to be able to share gifts, not only with each other, but to encourage ourselves and you know, as they say, iron sharpening iron. But yeah, this is the place where we welcome people to read for the first time, for the 50th time. We also have a featured artist every month to share. And so, yeah, we welcome you every month, every fourth, we say fourth Sunday of the month because there are 5 Sundays in the month, at least twice a year. So we say every fourth Sunday. December usually is the only month that it's not the fourth Sunday due to the holiday, Christmas. So we usually take it up 1 week before that. So, but yes, welcome here. Please tell your friends, your family, your enemies, your coworkers, your whoever will listen to you that we're doing this every month, not just for me, but for us. And so I thank you guys for being here with us. How this works is we start with the open mic, and then um, we do the featured artist, and usually I will lead out. And I just ask right now, we used to have really strong restrictions on like 5 minutes, but as we're trying to come out of something, I want to say it's a pandemic, but it seems like a monster, the boogeyman that just keeps haunting us. So, we'll give a little more time for people to share. So, but yes, I will. Oh, one other thing for those of you that are looking for the bathroom, you probably know the bathroom is back in the corner. And if you use the dryer to dry your hands, we will hear you in here. It'll be good and loud. If you take a phone call and you go out to the lobby, we will all hear your conversation. um, there's a big echo in the building, and so yeah. So again, we encourage you, if you are brave enough to be here with us live, be with us live. If you want to be with us virtually, please be with us virtually. Um, but currently, we have to wear these beautiful masks. And yes, ma'am. We do have some extra masks. George will help you out. Oh no, you're good. We got. No, you're all right. Also, if you're watching us virtually and you want to participate in the open mic, please just shoot us a message through the chat. Georgia, let me know, and we'll definitely make room for anybody out there that wants to participate with us. Um, so I will start us out with a couple. Um, this first one is a really short one that I wrote. I actually wrote a couple pieces this last month, which is kind of phenomenal. Because usually I might write one poem every 4 months, but um, I think I've written like 4 or 5 pieces in the last month. So, but this one is called "I Often Wonder." I often wonder if the quiet waits for me. Does it long for my attention, like I long for peaceful situations? Does my back wait to straighten, the floor wait for my flat feet, the table listen for the pulse through the palm of my hands, my mind silence my voice's command? I often wonder if the quiet waits for me by the shores of ocean waters or the sands of lake beaches, will the rippled waters leave cryptic messages? I often wonder if my pen awaits to impose ink on the pages from the quiet places of a poet's mind. That's that piece. Thank you. I think I'll just do some oldies. Yeah, here we go. I used to read this piece a lot when I first started writing, and I used to have it memorized, but I don't now. Others have taken its place, but it's called Freedom. Let's see if I can bring it up. There we go. There we go. My eyes are so like, hey, now. Okay, here we go. In order to have freedom, one must be set free. Free to foresee the bondage that enslaved you and me. But are we really free like Adam and Eve to walk naked in the breeze of the trees, never having to sneeze because of our allergies? Or is the possibility that one's free will lies in self-will, to choose immorality, taking responsibility, standing before God in accountability? Well, because of the fall, we're not free at all, but bought with a price. And the freedom that was shed now belongs in Christ. So be careful in your personal technique. The freedom you seek does not become a stumbling block to the weak. It's freedom. And I'll read one more, and then I'm going to ask some of the people that signed up to join me. This next piece I wrote is called Dreamcatcher, and there's a couple years back, I was doing arts and crafts at the Tolson Center in Elkhart with some kids in the summer, and I had all these activities, and we actually designed a dream catcher. And so for some reason, that was probably trying to teach them how to do it, probably was just so ingrained that it made me write a poem about it. The origins of my dreams are Native American nightmares. My thoughts are caught in the web of now, then, and what could be. Its representation is the circle of life. Deliberations take flight, and the feathers resemble the cage where the bird once sang. A web of trapped dreams are nothing more than distorted movie scenes. A day in the life of routine, good versus bad are now caught between. My worries creep in my room like little Bo Peep looking for her sheep that I'm counting so I can sleep. Dreamcatcher catches debris, the simplicity of one's culture ancestry. Whether the spider on the web that prays or knees that kneel down to pray, the head on which the pillow it lays searches for a spiritual place. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. All right, so Dan, would you mind joining us? Please give a round of applause for Dan as he comes to the mic.
I was tempted to freestyle, Pam, but I don't think I have the skill. When I come here, I think about when I was probably, and this is what I would have freestyled about now, I think about every time I come here. So I had two thoughts. One is when I was very young and my mom wanted me to swim, I swam for the YMCA, but swam very poorly, and there was a meet here, and I remember coming here to swim in a meet, and I don't think I did very well, but still I remember being here, and every time I come, I think, where was the pool, where's the pool? And I know it was out there. And then I think about, uh, as we pass George Floyd's death and the pandemic and the way that people think about the pandemic, that I hear them say, oh, what I did during the pandemic, as it was somewhere in the past, and I know we're not quite past it yet, but God, I wish that would have been something we could have said. I wish that would have been a point in our history where so much more racism and horrific things would have been pushed to our past, much like we think the pandemic. But that's what I would have freestyled about, and I don't have the skills. So there you go. This was written a while ago. It's called Dreaming While Chasing the Giant Moon. When I am, oh, much older, when time sits by my side, unlike I, her current owner, to friends gossip confide, a sugar jar of memories I'll mix into my tea, excavating archaeologist, youthful indulgency, robin's feathers, Tonka trucks, flying wheels, pirates fancy free, buried brittle bone, treasure deep, pirates fancy free. Breakfast once a week with walrus, owl, and eel, Barbary holes, poke in fabric, impenetrable. Jauntily out to circus, silly laughing seals, climb the sky proudly soaring, golden eagles. I'll whittle me some fiddlesticks, teach my cat to saw a bow, the dogs to dance a five-skirt jig, to a square dance we will go. Sundays, a chorus I'll chantly join, boisterous bullfrog hind willow reed, dainty homespun dishes purloin, Herculean lardered fruits of bumblebees. Set my sails long silver strings, unmoor the moon from gravity ends, listen to the coral rings, climb rainbows, purple bends. Hunt ghastly fog, lay low in danger places, opaque threads, yarnly spin pond bobbin wheel, weave a prayer shawl of splendor graces, rejoice, life pilgrims prostrate kneel. When well-worn adventures, bones carry me no further, I'll raise a cross and shield to the infallible perdition. All around me I call, those I love gather, fight like hell for one final jubilation. This was written with a picture in mind. Carol Estes had a picture that she posted, and I said, can I write a poem to go with that? It's called Winter Casualty. As if we were blown apart by spiritual beasts who devoured all the crispy bits, leaving only the tender pieces of the soul, we became uncovered, naked in our beauty, a light reborn. And this was written for my wife. It's a love poem. Allow me to be your disciple. Let my faith be a fever of belief, never again to be cooled by the hands of dangerous demons. Let me believe without placing my fingers inside the wounds of misgiving. I want to wear our love as a golden vestment of a priest whose passionate prayer rejoiced and rejoined by joyful, thronging voices of thousands, raising songs of glory and praise. I want to wear our love like the mantle of a queen, expressing fidelity, kissing the hem of our sacred union, past and present. I want other lovers to catcall as we saunter in a silky number, turning heads in slick black stilettos. I want our love all the days of our lives. And when we get holes from neglect or from trying too hard at life or not hard enough, I want to patch it up with forgiveness. And what we have learned, make it whole again, even more in its adding. When we are very old, needing warmth in our chilled bones, I will cover us in a quilt of memory. The squares of joy shall remind us of laughter and days on beaches and children, summer, and so much more. Thank you.
Give it up for Dan one more time. Again, if you're out there virtually and want to join us tonight with um, sharing some poetry, we welcome you to do that. George will let me know. Just put it right in the chat. I'm probably just going to kind of read in between some of us. So this one is called Longtime Confession. We are childhood friends. I found you in MySpace when MySpace did not exist. You were colorful in character, but your voice was silent. You are described as one that is gifted with talent. You make magic in blank spaces. You are moments in time with no erasers. Over many things, it was you I most favored. Without you, I could not be seen. You were my smokescreen, or maybe my shadow, covering the awkward feeling, my presence, my echo. Together, we traveled, studied with the best. Our friendship was challenged. What we learned about one another often seemed unsettled. Our union mostly valued by spectators in a museum. And starvation is what people dictated our financial state of ruin. Years did pass. Often I thought we'd gone our separate ways. New avenues I pursued, believed the better path to take. But your name never left my spirit, never left me barren. Rediscovering my love for you helped me to be transparent. So I placed a bookmark, I discovered a hallmark, I made a landmark, and found my trademark. I love you, art. And for you, those of you that don't know, I'm a visual artist and have been a visual artist long before I did poetry, and really struggled with being an artist, like, because when I was in school, there's no, like, artist, what you gonna do with that? And I didn't know many people that went to school for art, so, yeah. I'll read one more. And I actually I'm gonna share my daughter-in-law's poem that she shared with me. Hopefully she won't be mad about that. But it was well, what I learn all the time is there's people in my circle that do things that they say they don't do, and then I'm like, you're an artist. Like, I've been knowing you for I don't know how many years. I've never seen you draw a stick. So anyways, this is Untitled, but she wrote this and shared it, and it goes, I'd rather spring back than fall forward. I heard that once and it stuck. Spring me back to when it was easy, easy to breathe, easy to see, easy to wake up. Spring me back to when I was free, free to breathe, free to see, free to wake up. But I'm falling forward into a future, uncertain, falling face forward, falling head first, falling to my knees in fear. So I'd rather spring back than fall forward. That's that piece written by Stella Blair. I take credit for that because last name, I'm just saying. Nikki, am I saying that right? Yes. You want to join us? I'd love for you to join us. Is this your first time or no? Very first time to Poetry Den, y'all show us some love. Come on up.
Okay, I will try my best to be loud enough. This one's untitled. I have two of them, but this one's untitled. I think I have a melancholic soul who doesn't say much but feels everything too much, unable to differentiate what it itself wants. Maybe my soul stares at itself nakedly in a mirror and goes over every scar, every bruise, everything that is marked upon her. She can't see the art of beauty past them, the strength of heart that overcame them, or her resiliency of every get through she got through. All she sees are tally marks adding up, but the blemishes she's counting up. She's fixated and can't let go of what made them. They are a part of her now, her makeup. This one's called The Trap. I can feel it in my spirit. Tears fall without permission. Got caught up with words like lyrics to a song written. You said you loved me, you said it'd be different. My intuition said to question your affection, but I didn't. Got stuck in a game I didn't want to play, but my heart was already in it. I'm in a messed up headspace trying to distract the fact that I already knew this. Now I'm up late trying to contemplate this conundrum. How can I feel all this weight and still be numb? My heart is heavy but empty, and I still am not ready to give you up. Guess I better keep it moving to see a clearer picture of what it is I'm going after. Time to put my heart in a steel cage until he calls me later. Thank you.
Yeah, one more time for Nikki, our first time here. Of course, we welcome you back anytime you want to be with us. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. George, we got anybody online that wants to? Nobody that wants to read. What is that about? All right. All right. Susan. You knew I was gonna call you. Well, come on up here then. This is her first time reading at the Poetry Dance, so show her some love.
I wish I could do this on my phone, but sorry, gang, this is old school. This is entitled Words. Words. Powerful, beautiful, once flowing like a waterfall, endless. 1996. Sudden spinning that kept gaining speed, echoing, black, silence. An unfamiliar voice speaking so methodically. Golf ball-sized tumor on your brain must come out. Words to say goodbye to family, words to question, where to start. No time. It's time. Shivering cold, so bright and serious, head shaved, dark. Suddenly bright, white, so bright. A newness of indescribable joy. The summit of life was glorious, but reality humbles quickly. We do not live on mountaintops. We fall, we struggle, we climb and crawl for moments. We seek memories and inspiration to climb again and again and again. Words that once flowed freely now get lost. They hide like elusive butterflies. I run with my net and I catch them. I run with my net and give up. Such is life. Life is so very lovely and precious. Life can be so indescribably hard. So I laugh and live a new respect for words. I listen.
I love that. Please give her another round of applause. I feel like that was kind of like a testimonial type of yeah. All right, OG. You know, you family. So you know you family, so just roll on through here. Right, right.
How y'all doing this evening? Good, good. Share a couple of pieces from my book here. Where camera tells the urban soldier. Let me see. Okay. This piece is called Forward Thinking. Goal set, 6 years till I retire. With my work, many people I hope to inspire. Mid-40s is not society's ideal age to get out of the rat race. Fortunately, I'm intelligent enough to set my own pace. Haven't been a fan of conformity or the actions of the masses. Take a look at what's going on, or perhaps you need glasses. People working all their being until they reach the grave. Wake up and take your head out of the sand, you're nothing but a slave. I refuse to be a house or a field nigger. As a matter of fact, I'm growing to be something bigger. Author of my own destiny, so to speak. Stay tuned, watch and learn as I reach my peak. I'm a lot of things, and there's a lot of things I've never been. Doing it my way, not theirs, I'm destined to win. It's your choice, take a stand, devise your own route. Stay in the maze, get your cheese, which holds no clout. With those views being conveyed, make your own decision. The BS they spew, I've never obeyed. Forward thinking, that's that piece right there. Get out of that one. Let me see. Okay. This one's called Time and Life. It's amazing, no matter how many times I do this, I'm still nervous, so just bear with me. Every day, new opportunities await. Attitude and actions determine your fate. Perception and intelligence influence your ability to relate. A few ingredients to success contained above. You can try with no rules, or you can show yourself some love. Life is full of mountains and valleys. You decide if you want to drink from fountains or live in alleys. Take a bite out of life. Don't be afraid to chew. So when adversities rear their head, you'll know what to do. Life is what you make it. You're the only chef. Only you determine what's what from your first step to your last breath. Opportunity seized, opportunities lost. The effort you want to pay, you set the cost. Whether you build your own empire or the next person is your boss. Dreams are dreams unless you put forth action. Done correctly, efforts and results closely matching. Time in life, and life is time. So when it comes to my life, don't waste mine. I live the way I desire. I refuse to waste my life being a crier. Once you lose time, you won't find it again. So when it comes to life, I'm gonna win. Our life is short, can't take it for granted. Once you spend your time, you can't recant it. Life is good, life is grand. Plan your work and work your plan. Use your time wisely, take full advantage. 1,440 minutes in a day, you can manage. You can make an excuse or you can make a way. Be the author of your own story, narrator of your play. From the time you conceive to the time that you achieve, from the cradle to the casket. Live life, don't neglect the bask in it. Time and life, two synonymous terms. The more time you live, the more life you confirm. That's that piece right there. I'll give you guys one more. Okay. This one's called Nigger Please. Stop killing our army, we're at war. Make no mistake, these people have much more in store. We execute our people for this and that. We're losing momentum, increasing fucked up stats. Modern day genocide being performed by blacks, all in the name of lunacy and chasing stacks. Telling you to wake up has become quite cliche. With our sheepish behavior, I don't know what else to say. I'm at a loss of words, but I'm ready for action. As time goes on, we're losing plenty of traction. That's right, we're doing the opposite of what it takes to win. If we keep pussyfooting around, this will be the end. We were the first to civilize the earth. Somewhere along the way, we've forgotten our worth. Don't worry, I'm here to remind you, I don't do subliminal or dropping clues. I bring it direct smack dab in your grill, giving you a message you can comprehend and feel. I implore you to take a positive stand. Stop fucking killing each other. You might as well be the Ku Klux Klan. That's that piece right there. Thank you. Oh, yes, ma'am. Tales of an Urban Soldier. You can get it from me here today. You can go to Amazon. You can go to outskirtspress.com and Barnes & Noble. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's OG, y'all making big moves, making big moves. You got 2 books out, don't you? You got 2. Okay, okay, yeah. That's what's up. He gonna retire early. I'm gonna give him my address too. Send some money my way. Do I get some royalties? You know, because I feel like the portrait didn't have something to do with me. Yeah, you know, y'all heard that, right? All right. Yeah, I know. You're not the only one. But yeah, I'm gonna read another one, and then I'm gonna ask George to join us. Also, I forgot to do this at the beginning, but I also like to always acknowledge the space that we're in, because it has very rich history. A lot of you that are already here know a lot about that, and it's the reason why I didn't have George go through the whole thing. But for those that don't know, yeah, this place was not a welcoming place, and it is now. And we're very, and that's what the Portrait Inn is all about. And so it's just, yeah, it makes it just a great union to be here and to be among people that are welcoming. This piece that I wrote, I'm not sure if my friend is watching, but I was with a friend, and this scenario happened, and it was just kind of like, it was like, wow. And in the middle of the night, when I couldn't sleep, that whole incident happened, just kind of like flashback, and I didn't know what to do with it because I couldn't sleep, and so I wrote a poem. Imagine that. But it's called A Coke and a Smile. And this is actually what happened too. So it was a new restaurant we were excited to try. 5-star reviews, how could we simply walk by? The brick on the walls was chipped away like the rough hands of a construction worker from a long, hot day. In the background thumped hip hop and rap. So fresh and so clean, clean, a classic song from Outkast. The first round of drinks consisted of tea. New appetizers present itself to the table, bon appetit. The second time the waitress comes around, can I have a Coke with grenadine? The waitress replied, I only have Coke, and she added a smile. A glass of Coke filled with ice we expect, but instead she set down an old-fashioned Coca-Cola bottle with a long glass neck. Oh, wow, my friend exclaimed. I haven't seen this in a long while. Tears filled her eyes with memories of the file. The chipped brick walls, now closed in with a profile. How an innocent young girl was lured in with a Coke and a smile. Waitress, please take this away. Please, immediately. As my memories couldn't explain, my friend's pain, the joy a Coke and a smile was supposed to bring. That's that piece. She also said I could share that, so I don't feel too bad. I was reluctant to even share it with her because I didn't know, but she appreciated it, and yeah, it was very grilling. So I'm gonna ask the one, the only, the magnificent. You ain't got a key to the city yet, so, but I'm sure it's on its way. We're gonna bring George up here to share with us. Y'all give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you, everyone. I haven't read or shared these in a long while, so for at least the past 5.5 years, I have been in a lovely, committed, fantastic relationship. But there was a time that I wasn't. And that was a time when I was just a lovelorn, emotional, oh, woe is me, hopelessly single. So these were all written about that time. So yeah. The whiskey must have been drinking. A red lipstick ring around a smoky glass. You've been making out with a whiskey shot, pressing your lips to it, letting it feel how soft and wet you are around its cool, thin body. The whiskey must have been drinking because it feels woozy, lightheaded, room spinning, faces dancing back and forth, stopping only at one. But don't stare too long. She might notice you and come up to you and talk to you, and you'll have to talk back. And what will you say, and what will you think, and what are you wearing? Do you smell like a man? Thoughts dance aside just long enough to hold her gaze, and she laughs. But the whiskey must have been drinking, not me, because I feel fine, cool-headed, in control. But who's that girl beside me, stopping only to laugh? Long, tall smoke around a long, tall woman. She crushes the embers out on a cup. A red lipstick ring is all that remains. You've been making out with a cigarette, and not me? What's that? Let's see. Boy, I haven't opened up these in forever. A bunch of unfinished stuff here too. Slowly all the remnants leave. Drops in empty bottles, a stray hair on the bathtub, lips imprinted on a water glass. Your presence was felt, impacting this space in which you and I slept. You're making your mark somewhere else now, and I'm left to return to normal, though normal feels so much emptier than before. And the physical remains of you in my life begin to feel sacred, like the toothbrush that stands next to mine, their bristles entwining, sharing their touch and their saliva, just as we had. Slowly, all the remnants leave. I hurl the still wet beer bottles to the trash. They once touched your curvaceous mouth, and now they shatter. I find a hair too long to be mine and flush it down the drain. I watch as its tall, thin body slides away. I gather the sheets stained with your scent and wash them anew. Then I find a clip you put in your hair, and I cannot let it go. I open a door to place it in safely, and it drops into a crack. Visible, but lost, irretrievable. Someday, after we have both moved on, I may see it again. I'll leave it there for the next visitor to wonder whose hair it held. That's that. We'll try to find one more, at least, I think. Let's see. Gravity. Wisps of silken hair whip around as you turn your head and smile. It pulls me in like the power of gravity at your control. So many men have fought gravity. One screamed and ran down a long, lonely road, and when he ran fast enough, he flew. Above the clouds, he felt himself sinking as he falls back into gravity's embrace. He fights to get up, above it all, away from you.
That's George, everybody, one more time. If you don't know George, you should get to know George. Totally should get to know George. They do a lot of things out of the Civil Rights Heritage Center. I actually attended an event that was outside, may not have been hosted by them, but it was here, and it was around community, and there were so many community people here. So refreshing to see people be involved and want to be involved. So, yeah. So if there's anybody else out there that has a second piece that they would like to read, blink 5 times. No, I'm just kidding. OG, I know you with me. Anybody online? Nobody online, right? No. Nikki? Got an extra? Okay, you look. I'm gonna read this one, OG, and then Nikki, we'll see where you're at. Dan, you good? You done, all right. All right. This piece is called oh, by the way, I made these little bracelets. I didn't make them, but I ordered them. And they say the poetry den on them, and they're free. There's a bunch of them on the table. Take some, give them out to anybody that you see on the street. Just throw it out the window and give it to them. But anyways, it has our website on there, or not really the website, but our poetry or our Facebook page. So feel free to, if you want to share this event with someone, you can give them this bracelet. They know how to get on there. They can ask questions if they'd like to. But yeah, I got lots. I really only wanted 100, but then 200, and then they gave me 300. I was like, what? So yeah, I got plenty. They make great stocking stuffers too, by the way, just in case you know. All right, so this next piece is called The Art of Rushing Time. They say time waits for no one, but will it wait for me? Time places no hands on the clock for eternity, no man has lived to see. What if your time spent in this world was only preparing you for the next, and how you respond could leave you inadequate for the trip? Will you be deficit and unequipped because you refuse to love and refuse to forgive? A master of time and a slave to the wait. Time is too long to grieve and fear too hard to marinate. With no time to lose and your true purpose to gain, time does not wait for you to love. Time waits for hate to eradicate. With every hurried moment, a shovel throws dirt to the wind. 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet deep. And you will lie quietly, finally. From dust you were formed, to dust you will return officially. Ask me to calm the wind or stop the rain, to pray for those encumbered with pain. But don't ask me to rush time or fast forward, DVR when you can't live in the moment. Time rises, time falls. Time seems to stand still and time absorbs. Time buys and time flies. Time says hello and then time says goodbye. Time is everything we know and everything we know not of. Time will tell time in minutes and in quarters. Time will add up for richer or for poorer. How we spend time is the wealth of the soul. There is no real art to rushing time, just poetic melodies told. That's it. I'll share one more piece and then OG, I'll have you come back with me. This next piece that I wrote, I was partnered with someone that was doing uh, like a poetry podcast, and let me find the poem first here. Okay, here we go. And he asked me, to look for poems, and I was looking for, specifically trying to find like an African American poet that I could share, and I wanted to do something other than Langston Hughes, who we all know, and Maya Angelou, who we all know, but I was actually trying to find somebody that actually was still alive, and 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 I don't know why, but it was for me it was like a struggle, and ended up asking friends, who's your favorite poet, and I watched videos, and what in my findings at this time was what I saw was like some of our African American poets, are reading about hard times and oppression and a lot of stuff. And I thought about the poetry then, and I was like, man, we do a lot of that here too. And then, some of my white brothers and sisters like the flower that blooms from within, the dewdrop. And I was like, and it's so deep to me. And I'm like, how do these two come together, So anyways, of course, what did that inspire me to do? Write a poem. If you're not seeing the pattern here. So this piece was entitled, it's called, What Else Do Black Poets Write About? I am more than oppression in my DNA. I have actually seen miracles, been healed from diseases that are sometimes incurable. I work a job and work a hustle. God gave me these talents that keep my mind and my body out of trouble. I have written words that only ears require, recited poems in hopes that inspire, painted pictures that even I admire. I have brown skin that I adore, wrinkles on my face that are easily ignored. Rhythm in my soul, and the blues is something I try hard to ignore. I have more than oppression in my DNA. I have the blood of kings and queens that the history books won't say. My truth is not only blood on the street, sagging pants and sweatshirt hoodies. It resides in the human cells from Henrietta Lacks. The greatness of America comes from the people of color's back. So what else do Black poets write about? Maybe hopes for tomorrow? More Black billionaires that lend and not borrow? Maybe more love and less sorrow. It's that piece. OG. Come on up. Y'all show some more love for him.
All right, the name of this piece is called Our Future. People today often complain about the behavior of our youth. I'll share with you the pure, unadulterated truth. When it comes to that behavior, the blame has been sorely misplaced. If you're familiar with TV, the web, or music today, part of the answer is staring you smack dab in the face. The other reason for this condition is not so public and it's kind of crummy. Parents these days are raising fake gangsters, labor whores, and dummies. I've witnessed mothers on Facebook while their children run amok. But when you make mention to this, they have words to lend to you, no less. And I'm like, what the fuck? Discipline has been stripped from the home like a football from a running back's grip. The family structure in America is sinking like that Titanic ship. Whatever happens until it takes a village to raise a child. Somewhere along the line, we've forgotten, as a result, our youth run utterly wild. So before you blame the kids, take a deeper look into the matter. So the next time you witness a rowdy youth carrying on, just know it might be the latter. That's that piece, Our Future. Okay. The 5 Ps. Living life properly prepared can prevent poor performance. Perform correctly, and you can live life enormous. As far as the size, that's up to the individual. Slight warning, living this way can make you quite critical. Preparation provides more time to think. So when you approach a situation, you can create the best link. You can apply this principle to just about any aspect of life. It can be the difference in doing a project with a flathead screwdriver or a butter knife. Also pertains to monetary gains. Spending for the big picture, sometimes you have to refrain. Being poor in any sense is not fortunate by any means. So in this case, why would you want your performance to be? Just a tale of order, confidence, and time. Everybody goes through their form of chaos. But getting a jump on things could be the difference between a dollar and a dime, running in and out of time. Getting a jump on things could be the difference between laughing and crying, living and dying, loving or lying, staying or leaving, rejoicing or grieving, keeping your liquor down or heaving, homework done in the afternoon or evening, having money in your account, or borrowing to the next weekend. That's that piece right there. And I got one more for you guys. I'll let you guys have it. This one is called Individual One. I don't struggle to blend in, I strive to stand out. I might do something twice, but never the same route. It's better to be deep in thought than shallow in misery. The way some act, they seem to be kids to me. Juvenile actions expecting adult results. With this is your plight, my intelligence this insults. With every second that passes, I strive to grow from the person I was seconds ago. Unknown facts I want to know. Conformity has never been an option because I'm a true individual. Living my life in this fashion has definitely created residuals. I embrace them all, whether great or unfavorable, simply because these things are what able me to claim the status of being a true separate being. Living this way has also been most freeing. Independence and abundance, responsibility necessary. If not, a gang of jail time this could carry. Don't say it if you can't display it. You've got one life to live and there's nothing to play with. Everything else you have to learn on your own. How in the hell do you think I got so grown? Individual One. Thank you.
One more time for OG. Always appreciate you standing in the gap. Nikki, you want to come back up? She's gonna give us another piece or two or whatever.
Just a short one. But it's called Conundrum. Life has a funny way of expression. Knowledge can only come from knowing the opposition. To know pleasure is to know pain. To know freedom is to know oppression. And to know passivity is to know aggression. I mean, Socrates even said, to know everything is to know nothing. Quite the contradiction.
One more time for Nikki. For all of you all that have participated in open mics, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Those of you watching, thank you for watching. But it is time for our wonderful featured artist, who I have had the pleasure of, doing a couple of different projects with. And so she agreed to be in a feature, and so I'm glad to have her with us. So if we can give our undivided attention to her. Her stage name is Rebel Noire, is a vocalist, songwriter, poet, and creator, with liberation as her language. By day, the Trinidadian native and longtime New Yorker turned Elkhart, Indiana resident, is deeply committed to the work of undoing oppression and supporting others in building intercultural and justice-oriented spaces. As lead for her band, The Accomplices, she explores her experience of Black womanhood through Afroetic, did I say that right? Rock, blues, and other sounds. So if you can put your hands together, those watching and those that are here, for Rebel Noire.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who is here. Thank you, everyone who is watching. Oof, I tell you what, I'm nervous. I feel nervous. I don't know if I said this to you, Pam, but I have desired, it has been a long desire to be a featured poet on this stage. It's such a gift. So I'm very grateful for the invitation. I don't know. I might have been too shy back then. I might have been too shy back then. Oh my goodness. The first poem I'll share tonight, I actually wrote in the car today. And, I shouldn't say that. I was not writing in the car. What had happened was, well, yeah, right. My garçon, my French chauffeur. But it's a poem that wrestles with this identity of a poet. I struggle to say I'm a poet. Poetry happens to me sometimes. And so I wrote this opening poem as sort of an alternative way of calling myself a poet. It's called I Make Words. I turn hours into verses, experience into knowing on paper, on page. I take minutes into timelessness, text for repeating again and again and again and again. I make words happen. I make words happen. I make words. I weave seconds into stories, pain into rhythms, from thoughts onto lips, translate moments into meaning, rage into good penmanship. I make words happen. I make words written. I make words. I transcribe what's been televised and alternate realities. I make lines out of life changes, from dark places, paint light and poetry. I make words happen. I make words spoken. I make words. I craft Black woman word magic. Out of Black life and histories, conjure me into third person. My degree is grammatical wizardry. I make words happen. I make words written. I make words spoken. I make words chosen. I make words happen. I make words happen. I make words. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ooh, I had to get that out of my system. Yes. So I write poetry very intermittently. But one of the places that I write poetry is actually, shout out to my Happy, Healthy, Whole, and Paid group. We meet every morning, 5 days a week. We read, we work out, and we meditate together. And one of the things that we do is we do freestyle days where sometimes we write. And so the next two poems come out of that space where we all put words in our group chat. We're meeting on Zoom, and then we craft poetry out of those words. And it's beautiful to see how even with the same 7 words or the same 11 words, we come out with radically different things. Yes. So these next two are from that space. This one is called In Awe. I am awestruck by the time I take to make love to me, to love all over me with patience and wonder and care. Make me present. Hands raised, for I am here, and how did I become so magical, so tangible in a world that hopes I disappear, that tries to make me invisible to my amazing? I am tired these days, but the fatigue I feel is attached to my being centered on purpose, a mission impossible. Exhausted from so much gratitude, I am filled up to bursting, and can you see how I flow? Call me steady as she blows in the skin I'm in. That's In Awe. Thank you. And this one is Untitled. Today, I am the champion in my story, the light on my horizon, the hero, not the damsel in distress. No more chosen pain, no self-inflicted suffering. I know in my insides what is best, and I will live it. This too is freedom. This too is release. I had settled for torment and tears lacking in joy. I had settled for half-truths, baptized my sadness, made the emptiness holy, but no more. Today, I choose to be wonderful instead, to bless the sole of my feet and the crown of my head, the love in myself, unique, mystique. Here I am. Thank you. So a lot of my poetry, as Pam noted, is out of my Black woman experience in this world, this place called the United States of America. And sometimes the words are just, they're healing words for myself. I write poetry to name where I am. I write poetry to, what is the word? Encourage myself. I write poetry to put a creative spin on the simple things. I could have said, I write poetry. I make words is a lot better to my own ear. And of course, within recent years, there's been a lot of political things to write poetry around, a lot of racial harm and injustice to write poetry around. And poetry in that space helps me process what's going on. It helps me externalize it rather than holding it all in. So this next poem is an example of that. It's called Mike Brown's State of Mind. I lived in New York City for a long time, and so, you know, New York state of mind. I was in a Mike Brown state of mind when I wrote this poem. I stumble onto Tumblr nightly, my screen lit brightly, a world gone wild. I'm in a Mike Brown state of mind. Scanning Vine's posts and tweets, I stay glued to Missouri streets, killing time. I'm in a Mike Brown state of mind. See, I can't shake the bitter taste of strange fruit on my lips. Can't cover my eyes as the tear gas flies against black and upward fists. Can't smile and sing and let praises ring while my heart is in pain like this. I can't deny I'm in a Crawford, Gardner, Martin, Diallo, Nettles, Grant, Bell, Louima, McBride, Arbery, McLean, Taylor, Gary, Logan, Floyd. Insert name here, insert name here, insert name here, insert name here. Mike Brown, state of mind. Thank you. I am learning to write longer poems. My poetry and I, we have conversations. I say, poem, you gotta be longer. And the poem says, nope. Right? I'm like, but other people that memorizing their poems go on for 3 or 4 minutes, poem, I need you to be longer. And my poem looks at me and says, so I have 4 short poems. This first one I wrote taking the trolley in my town as we went through the side of town, which quote unquote is the hood. It's called Open Cages. These are really, really short. Open cages. My people live in open cages on new, improved, free-range plantations. Through hidden bars and old frustrations, we move and breathe with lacerations. It's open cages. Wow. I have another poem written in a dry spell in my life called Thirsty. It's a short. I cannot tell if the walls are shrinking, if the wells are shrinking, or if it's me that's drying, but I know I am parched. I am parched. I am parched. Cracked and hardening. I'm losing moisture. There is no dew fall in this place. Thank you. 2 more shorts here. I was angry when I wrote this one. Sometimes I dream of hitting back, of striking hard against your flesh and never saying sorry. Sometimes I dream. Wow. Wasn't directed at anybody in particular. If anybody's out there listening and wondering, I didn't pay her back on time or whatever, it's not about you. It's not about you. You know, it's like, I bet you think that poem was about you. You're so vain. It was not. Okay, another short. This one's called Rising. I was sleeping when you found me, and what seemed to be sweet nothings sent me deeper into slumber, left me pacing in a trance, but I am awake now. Thank you. Where are we on time, Pam? I wanna. Oh, another two, okay. Woo. All right, I'll skip that page. I wanna do another new one here. Two new ones, and we'll see. I'll see what the Spirit says about my last one real quick. These are short. So this one is called Across Worlds. Sometimes we meet people, and this doesn't have to be romantic at all, but we meet people, and for a short time or a long time, it just feels like this beautiful collision that changes the both of you forever. This is called Across Worlds. I came to you across worlds, time and space, and you met me. Leapt up to me, danced to me, and I moved in slow motion to greet thee, to be we, so entwined. We glide through outer reaches between planets, entire beings, we reaching like comets and stars, a whirlwind of sorts. What magic that makes boundaries so easy to cross. I did not know that I would enter you and you would enter me, that I would enter we, our energy inseparable, a wrinkle in time, a strange cosmic twist, a marvel. We shine, and I'm so very glad I know you. This one I'll offer as a blessing to everyone here and everybody watching, and an invitation to make room for you. And then I'll close with a poem I love to close with. But this one is for you, a reminder. Make room. Make room for you to crawl up out your belly, to rise up off your tongue. Make room for you to springboard from your heart space, to know that you're your only one and there's a whole world outside here for you, waiting for your rebirth, anxious just to get a glimpse to see the sight of you. New eyes opened, grappling for your deepest breath. Make room for you. Push walls for you. Press through for you. Break through for you. Make room for you. Be born for you. Come again. Thank you. Thank you again so much, Pam. This is truly, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here. This last poem is called Anew. I wrote it on the plane coming home from Trinidad, which is where I'm originally from. It was my third visit there in the 31 years that I've been here in the US. And it felt different that time, especially being in a place where so many people were saying, America is not safe for us. To be in a place where there were brown people everywhere and I could feel in my chest, I could breathe. This is from my granny. Anew. I am rising to myself, born again from nothing less than sand and salt and power of sea alive. Remade on hills called Trinity, I am spoken. And the sound of my voice unbroken, it makes sense to me there. It comes back to me here. I am a force in context. This me is found in the blood of brown faces, in the flesh of black bodies, in the heart of dark spaces, independent and free, forged from the love of liberty and the fires of hope. I'm made awake by going home. I'm a new word restored unexpectedly. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Wasn't that wonderful? Yeah. Very, very deep and rich poetry. So I appreciate you even, bringing that back up to hey, I want to be a part of this. Because I could have sworn I had asked you maybe, or you've done it before, but my memory is getting shorter. Right. um, but yeah, we want to create spaces for many to come and share their gifts and talents, or just be with us. And I appreciate all that, again, all of you all that have shared, Nikki, Dan, Susan, Kate, oh no, not Kate, George, and OG in his absence. Thank you all for being here tonight. Again, we do this every fourth Sunday of the month. Next month, I will be your featured artist. And I will say this is, and I've probably said this before, but like, I'm an only child, and yeah, I used to make magical moments happen all the time in my house, okay? So I've done a lot of poetry, did a lot of singing concerts, to my stuffed animals and shoes, and you know what I'm saying, like, hey, like, and the last thing that I like to do when we do the poetry den is read a bunch of my poems, because I so much want to hear from other people. And so one of the ladies that comes often had said to me, why don't, what do you ever do a feature? And I said, I try not to, because I want to promote other people. And she's like, you really should, and you should, because you do several different things. And I don't know, sometimes somebody can say something to you and it can like resonate in your spirit, right? And you go, maybe I should do that, even though it would be something that I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to, but I will. And so I will be a featured artist next month. Anyways, we thank you all for being here tonight. Welcome you back next month, the fourth Sunday. I think that is, I don't know what it is. Anybody got a calendar? October, close to October 24th. Mark your calendar, come back, share with us, bring your friends, bring your neighbors. Just tell them, be quiet when they get in here, listen, but bring them. Those that that are interested, have them come. We love this space. I love the Poetry Den. It's been a long time, and we keep bringing it in, keep wanting it to happen, and so it's for you, it's for me, it's for all of us. So once again, you all have a great rest of the weekend. The last, how many hours we got here? 4.5, 5 hours, something like that. But yeah, we'll see you next month. Thank you again.